What I saw as a health educator, more so in inner city communities, is we don't talk too much about health. You kind of just live life, and we don't really focus on our health until the doctor tells us we're suffering from a particular issue. So we want to give more influence in our communities to let people know, if you do more preventive care, things that you normally get as you get older, you don't have to worry about. My name is Cat. I'm a personal trainer, radio host in the Bay Area. So I started on my own weight loss journey. I was 80 pounds heavier than what you see today. I was working in corporate America for 10 years, which led me down this path of poor nutrition and not focusing on truly who I was. I had a health scare where I was rushed to the hospital. What they thought was a heart attack wasn't a heart attack, but they couldn't tell me what was going on. I realized that I had to get away from this corporate America that I was working in. So I left that, became a trainer, and been training almost 3.5 years. I became vegan, just a simple question. I was actually at the barber shop. One of the barbers that were there asked me a question. He was like, I just became vegan a month ago. He was like, what recommendations do you have for me? I was kind of confused. I was like, vegan? This is probably the second time I've ever heard that word in my life, and I didn't know exactly what he was talking about. And I was upfront with him. I was like, to be honest with you, I don't have any recommendations because I've never done it myself, but tell you what, I'll do some research and I'll get back to you. As I did the research, I found out some cool information. I said, let me try it out for myself. So I put myself on this 30-day challenge, and going through that process, what I realized, some of my joint issues that I was having, all that alleviated, but more so from a spiritual side. I didn't realize how much of the energy that we absorb from the animals, not understanding that these animals that are suffering and going through all this trauma, a lot of that energy is in the meat that we eat. And people that are suffering from depression, anxiety, those things that doctors told me couldn't be cured besides taking a pill, was actually cured by eliminating the meat and the dairy that was in my diet. So after those 30 days, I never looked back. It's not too much information in the inner city communities where I come from about plant-based. What I do is give them, easy ways or suggestions how they can cut back on certain things in their particular diet. It's easier for them to take the proper steps to start eliminating the meat and dairy in their current diets, as long as they have something to substitute it with. And when you give them those fillers, now they have all the tools to have a more successful lifestyle. Over at 89.3 KPFB, we came up with a show called Health Matters. And Health Matters, what it does, it takes people that, had different kind of diseases and how they've reversed these particular issues by going plant-based and focusing more on nutrition and not worrying about taking pills and prescription drugs that, pharmaceuticals normally try to push into our inner city communities. So it just gives people a lot of information on more of a holistic outlook on how you can make a change in your life. I think just being a living example of how you can be a thriving plant-based vegan in the community plays a huge part, especially being a person of color. Now, through social media and different outlets, to be that person that you could look at and be like, oh man, that looks like my friend, or that looks like my cousin, or that sounds like somebody that I know talking about something that I never might have heard of, and planting that seed and allowing that seed to develop. Because if I never took the step to push myself in that direction, then I don't think that, my life purpose could actually spread as it has.